I'm so hooked. What's up, guys? Well, here we are again. I've been having fun doing the What's Really Hoods with you. Thinking of good subjects. And about my video the other day, the one about games I beat as a kid, for anybody who got triggered, which there was a few of you, which is ridiculous in itself. But anyways, there was a video by My Retro Life I was watching this morning when I was working out. And look up the My Retro Life when he got Chippendale Rescue Rangers. And he talked about being his dad said he was a Chippendale Rescue Rangers pro. And he beat the first level the first time he ever played it, and he was 4 years old. All I thought about was everybody being like, yeah, right. No, you didn't. You didn't beat that video game when you were a kid. Ridiculous. But, that's all I'll say about that. You people are crazy. But anyways, I want to get into the next topic here. And a topic I thought about today. And a lot of things that get misconstrued of what I said. When is there a good and bad time for, is there a place for save states and emulators? So a lot of people think that, like, oh, Megadan's a hater of all that stuff. I don't know how many times I have to say it. But I don't care how people play games. I don't know how many times I got to say that to get through skulls. Some people's brains are just blocked. And I don't know what that is. But I have said that so many times that I don't know how many more times I can say it to get it through your heads. That I do not necessarily hate it. I don't like to do it, but it's okay if you do. I just think it's a guilty thing. I think people feel guilty for doing it, so they hate it when somebody like me points it out. Like, yeah, fuck you, you know? It's kind of like if somebody who smokes cigarettes or something, I guess. This might be a bad analogy, but like you smoke cigarettes and somebody points out that cigarettes are really bad for you and you probably shouldn't do it, but it's okay that you do it, but you probably shouldn't. You know, there's a lot of people that smoke their whole lives and hey, they're okay. But then there's a lot of people that it goes bad, right? But they hate it when people point it out, like, yeah, look, you know what? Maybe you should worry about what you're doing. You do this and you do this. So it's one of those things where you point it out and then they get triggered, you know? And really what it is guilt. You know? It's like, you know it's kind of bad, but you hate it when somebody points at it. Like, hey, don't worry about that. Stop pointing at that. Stop. That's what I think it is. But is there a good time for save states? Let's start there. Do I hate save states and rewind? We'll say that because they're basically the same thing. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Overall, I think it's a bad thing, right? But, you know, does it help you sometimes? Is there a proper way to do it, right? In my opinion, where maybe even I would do it, right? Sure. Yes. Yes, there is. It reminds me of a time of E.C. Myers. I was watching E.C. Myers. If you haven't checked out Eugene, great streamer. Been going forever now. Real good guy. And he was playing Adventure Island. And basically it got really late. Eugene was super late in the game. He didn't want to start over. And instead of leaving his system on, he used a save state to save it there. So then he picked up right where he left off the next day. Nothing wrong with it. Some people I know said, no, you didn't beat it. Didn't beat it. There's definitely people. There was two people. I won't say their names because you guys are going to fucking freak out. But there was two people that said, no, he didn't beat it. Didn't beat it, dude. You got to start over then. But I thought that was petty. You know, and I was like, no, because if he leaves his system on, it's the same thing. And then he beats it and does the same thing. You know? So to me, I thought those people were being petty, you know? But people are hard fucking core, you know? When I played Holy Diver, I left it on overnight. I left my NES on because I happened to be playing it on an NES, and because I fucking hated the game so much, I didn't want to start over, so I left it on, had to go to bed, ran out of time, and then I beat it the next day. I left my NES on all fucking day. So when I went to work, everything, and I came home, and I believe I picked it up and beat it. I believe that's what happened. And so I don't think you have to do that. And I only did that because I was playing on OG hardware. There's nothing I could do. So if I would have been playing on, let's just say, an NES Classic, no problem. I would have used a save state. You know, I do think there is a place for it, and I think that is why it was created. I think that's why it was there. It's just people abuse it, just like anything else. They abuse everything. You know. I think that's a good example. Also, if you're playing, let's just say, and I don't know if it has these, I can try to think of a game that does. Say you're playing Simon's Quest and it has passwords. Me, I take a picture of the password and then I fucking copy it down. You know, or I don't copy it down, but I go back to my phone, I look at the picture, and I copy it, right? But if you use a save state there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. It's the same exact thing. That's what it's there for. That's the tool that's how you're supposed to use it, in my opinion. That's why I think it's there. And it's obviously for just, hey, if somebody runs out of time and they're playing, let's just say, Blaster Master, and it doesn't have passwords or anything, it's just used for, hey, I gotta go. I gotta go to work or something. I'm gonna use a save state and I'll pick up where I left off. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that'll bring me into my next thing, emulators. So there's the obvious things of like, people can't afford video games. Hey, sure, you can. Or you don't want to spend your money on it because, whatever with your life, that's fine. I have no problem with emulators. I don't. I think that if you don't want to spend your money and have a big game room full of games, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's your choice. Me, I love it, but the atmosphere is part of what I want to create in my brain and when I'm down there sitting. There's a lot of times I go down to my game room and I just sit there and I just look around at my Nintendo Power posters up on the wall and I look at my games and I'm just looking at stuff. There's many times I do that. And it's almost like a calm rewind or a way to wind down after work, or after anything. I could be having a bad day and maybe that's how I do it. Sometimes after I mow the lawn and I'm hot and I'm cooling off, I go downstairs where it's a little bit cooler and I'll just sit on my couch and just look around, and I think of games that I see. I might pick up a Nintendo Power and read it, right? Not everybody wants to do that. Some people just want to play the game casually, maybe, and they don't want to spend all this money on games. Hey, fair enough. Then get an emulator, get a RetroPie, get a fucking NES Classic and mod it. No problem. Emulators are also great. Like Nathan has my NES Classic modded in his room so that he can just play Super Nintendo or NES whole libraries basically whenever he wants. It's great for children. It's great for children if they want to just fuck around and play something and they just click between all the different games and they try stuff. Nathan used to do that all the time, dude. So we have a TV in his room and everything. So that's another time when it's really great to have an emulator. But then there's the other things. How about when a game's really expensive? I want to play Little Samson. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh, am I going to spend, what is it at now, 3 or 4 G's? Am I going to spend 3 or 4 G's on a fucking video game? I mean, I would, probably, but am I gonna? Probably not. You know what I mean? Probably not, dude. I'd have to, come up on some money or something like that, and I would only buy something like that because it's an investment, too. And I can always just sell it. And the fucker just keeps going up. So it's like buying into a stock that's just going to keep going up. So I would just keep it for a while, and then I would just sell it if I had buyer's remorse, where I was like, fuck, dude, why'd I do this, But am I going to anytime soon? Am I thinking about doing that? Probably not. So I've played Little Samson before, and I played it on NES Classic, and I beat it. So, I've done that before. So that's another time when I think it's fine. Say you are a collector and you'll never spend that amount of money on a game. Fair enough. It's like being a comic book collector and you want to read the first appearance of Spider-Man, Tales of Suspense, and you're not going to spend fucking 100, 200, 300K what it goes for nowadays. Of course not. So you find the electric version, the digital version. Sorry, electric. You find the digital version and you read it online. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing wrong with that. I do that to a certain T. I cheat a little bit. And what I do is, do I order every video game manual known to man online? Like when I want to play, when I'm playing, let's just go Wings of War, okay? I just played Wings of War. And I want to know about what items do and everything like that. Do I have to order the manual? No, I read the PDF online. It's the people, which is awesome. The community has taken basically every instruction manual into a database, and they've uploaded every fucking picture copy of it, like photocopy, and it's really awesome. So there's a lot of times I read the manual on there. You know, that's how I beat like Adventures of Link. You know, I had to find out what my items were doing, and I was stuck in the game on Adventures of Link because I didn't want to look anything up. So I was like, well, back in the day I'd have the instruction manual. Let me read that. And one day at work, I started reading the instruction manual, and I seen something, and it helped me beat the game. And after I figured that out, I was like, boom, that's what you do. And it was the instruction manual that helped me. And I know Captain Algebra says that all the time, like, read the instruction manual if you don't understand shit. So true, dude. When you think a game sucks, go read the manual first, because there might be key things that you don't know that are in there. And thanks to the community, we have an awesome database just full of manuals. You know, and they're hard to get nowadays, man. So yeah, I do that. I think it's fair. You're reading an instruction manual that you would have owned back in the day if you bought the damn game. So there you go. You know, a lot of times when you rent games that have the instruction manual too. You know, so what they used to do at the place I used to rent from is they used to print them out, and the instruction manual was like on the back, on the case, the plastic case that you got. And it was actually on there. It was pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, I think that's fair too. There's a time and a place for that stuff, in my opinion. Do I try to go down that road? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? I'm all about leaving the NES on. I'm all about, and that's, you might say, well, that's stupid. Well, that's because I play on that though. I'm not playing on an NES Classic where I can use a save state even if I want to. I can't. You know what I mean? I can't, dude. I'm playing on an OG hardware. I have to leave my system on. You know what I mean? But that's how I prefer to play. But to say it again, across all the mountains, everybody can hear me. I don't care how you fucking play video games. So in case your phone or your PC or your TV's down right now, I don't fucking care how you play video games. Did you hear me? Like, fuck. Jesus. There's been so many people. I don't think why it's such a big deal. He's a gatekeeper. Well, I am a little bit, because I like to do things my way, but I don't care how you do it. But do I think things should be done a certain way? Fucking absolutely. And I have a right to be a gatekeeper, dude. I'm good enough. I've played enough. I've beaten enough. I've no death ran enough. I've earned that. I've earned that, man. So I'm a little bit, like CM Retro says, I'm a little bit of a fucking elitist. Hell yeah, I am, dude. I deserve to be, too. I've earned that. I've earned that right. So, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I mean? I can be a spokesman of how things should be done. I think so. I fucking think so. There's a lot of people that deserve that. Just like there's a lot of people that shouldn't. That have these crazy opinions. And to me, sometimes your opinions don't mean much because you haven't played and done anything really. You know what I mean? But these guys, it's kind of like reviewers. Sometimes you watch these reviewers, they review these games, but they don't even really play games. So it's like, does their opinion really matter? You know what I mean? It's there. They have an opinion. Everybody has one. But does it really hold weight? You know? No. But us guys who have hundreds of playthroughs and no death runs and all, you should listen to them, man. Why? Because they've played a lot of games. You know what I mean? That's why. So they probably know, most likely, they know what the fuck they're talking about, you know? Your Captain Algebras, your Solid Eights, your T-Bellies, your fucking back. Wish J-Love would come back. You should listen to them, man. They know what they're talking about. CM Retro ain't no joke either. You're a good guy. CM Retro, I did not know you've beaten all the things you've beaten. That's pretty impressive. But, you should definitely listen to them. But anyways, I guess that does it for today's video. I'm trying to think of any other things that, like, emulators are okay. But, like, there's a time and a place for them. Same with save states. I don't hate on it. Not when it's used properly. It's just, you know what people do. I need to know how to fight this boss. So I'm going to save it here in case I die. So I can fucking beat him next time. You know, it's like, come on, man. Like, kind of abusing it at that point. You know, save state after they're hit every time. Oh, I got hit. Let me load it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm playing Road Rash. Oh, I crashed. Let me load it. You know, like, it kind of ruins it. You got to do it all in one run, man. Like, am I wrong here? Like, it's kind of defeating the purpose of the challenge. You know what I mean? Just in my opinion. But I mean, again, you can play however you want to play. Jeez, you fucking idiots. So many dumbasses, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I'm almost at work. I'll talk to the homies later. I've been having fun doing the videos. Awesome comments. Been having some really good stuff. Thank you for everybody that's reaching out about dumb people. Yes, I know. And don't worry, I'll be taking care of it. And I appreciate you. I'm glad that you get stuff from my videos. I've had a lot of really cool messages sent to me on Voxer and things like that. I appreciate you, for real. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Some of my closest friends have gotten so much from my videos, and that's why I continue to try to do it every day. And we talk about this stuff. I'm really glad that you guys get something from it. It means a lot. Because I have time to waste here where I'm driving to work, and I have a longer drive, so it's kind of nice to be able to talk about some video games before I go to work. Also had a couple of comments about, you know, how it's nice I'm not talking about, like, values and, like, you know, buying and selling games. That's all anybody ever talks about now. How much is a game worth? How much is this game worth? And I'm actually talking about playing the games like we used to, you know? A lot of people are just into buying games, and yeah, I'm with you. No offense to anybody who has that type of channel that you're buying and selling, and everything's about how much is this game's worth. I just get sick of hearing that, though. I more want to hear what's a game I should play, what's a good game, things like that. That's more what I'm into, so that's what I like to watch. But yeah, it's really good to hear your guys' messages, and that's why I do it, and that's why I'll continue to do it. You know, I'm really glad to have you guys around. I really am. I'm glad to have such great friends. I'm glad for the community. I'm glad that we're getting back to the roots of, like, playing games and talking about playing games, even if we don't all agree, you know. But a lot of you guys most of your guys are very decent about disagreeing, and you're good guys. And, you know, you leave your good comments, and you always agree with me, and that's okay. That's okay. You have a right to have an opinion. That's totally fine. And we don't always have to agree on everything. And the way you guys go about the disagreement is good, and I appreciate it. And you reach out to me, and like I said, you know who you are that sent me messages, and your messages are awesome. I hear them loud and clear. I actually, in the morning before I get going, when I'm doing dishes and when I'm doing laundry, and I'm cleaning out a vacuum this morning, which was a pain in the ass. When I'm doing all those things, taking the dog for a walk, I catch up to all your guys' stuff, and I really appreciate all the kind words. It's really cool. I'm glad that you get something from it. I'm glad that it's not a waste of your time, and that my videos are really, you know, hitting hard. Like, I know yesterday's video hit a lot of people on a personal level, and compared it to some other videos that was awesome to be compared to, by the way. Comparing it to stuff like Ultimate Warriors videos, which might sound kind of silly, but if you've never watched those, they're like inspirational videos. I'm glad that you got something from the video that'll help push you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to help push you. It's going to help make you try harder at something. Maybe it's going to make you, or let you know that your competitive nature is a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Dan feels that way too. I'm not the only one. That was somebody else who said that. So that's awesome. I'm glad it's helping you, dude. That's the whole point. And I don't write this stuff down. I don't. This is all straight from the heart, man. I just start talking. I have a small subject to go with, and I go from there. And so I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. I really do. And so hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you get some gaming time in. I was not successful last night with gaming time. That's for sure. The play choice counts, but I didn't work on my channel. But I got some uploads coming, some playthroughs. I'm finally getting done and edited and everything. Takes a while, but I just was tired yesterday, dude. I fucking got up early as fuck, and then it hit me at nighttime. That's why I didn't stream. But I'll talk to you guys.